With a lot of the dancers that we see, a lot of times there's ambiguity in how much they're doing and know if they're doing too much or too little. A lot of times we're the ones that kind of guide them in understanding that. Conversations you're having about that, also how you approach that conversation when dancers are like, I don't know if this is something that requires more attention from me or if this is something that I can kind of continue to work on.
I think the main question we often get in this realm is, how do I know if I'm overworking or am I working too much? Or you hope they ask that question, sometimes they don't. I had a conversation actually with a collegiate dancer who the conversation was about, hey, I also have to work while I'm in college, but I'm also trying to dance. I just got this job that I have to be on my feet a lot. It's really bothering me. I don't think I can dance as much because I'm at this job. What do I do? You know, because I also have to work. And so there was this, we came up with some strategies and I gave some suggestions in terms of like, well, you know, there is obviously looking at what you're doing at work and is there a way to talk about it to, you know, minimize the load. I think we have to talk about load, right? When we're talking about like overwork. So if you're talking about the physical side of things, there are different ways to sort of track that, and some ways that we do it is session RPE, rate of perceived exertion, where you rate on a scale of 0 to 10 about how much force you kind of feel like you were exerting. And there's a whole situation on this we can talk about more later, but you know, can you keep track of these things for yourself? And so if you're looking back on, say, all the wellness wellness scores that we talk about, right? The sleep quality, muscle fatigue, soreness, mood. And if you're looking at all of these things and you are tracking these things for yourself over time and you're noticing, hey, 4 days in a row, my muscle fatigue is off the charts, that's going to give you information right there, right? And you're the one that's keeping track of that, right? So I think being able to look at that and being able to say, I'm doing some objective things for myself to look at how much I'm doing, especially on like show weeks. And then I think that lends itself to this idea of periodization and tapering, which I still think everybody understands the concept. The application part of it is just obviously much more challenging. So the other part of it is just understanding our idea of what does success mean to us and what are the things that I'm trying to do to achieve my idea of success. So how do I know too much is too much? Sometimes it's, you know, we're doing all the things, we want to do all the things, but I think it's also looking at like, what are we trying to achieve and are we approaching it in a timely manner, in a manageable manner, in a way that we can see like active progressions, and it's not just like I need to work as hard as I can all the time. Right? Because that's just absolutely not sustainable.
Yeah, and that definitely makes it a lot more intentional and purposeful for the dancer too, where just the act of working hard to work hard is very much integrated in what we do. Just like exerting yourself maximally just to say you worked hard and to feel, yes, exactly, to like associate that sensation with the feeling of true work.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yes.
So I feel like, you know, as physical therapists, we have to talk about obviously the physical side of things, the healing side of things, but ultimately there are a lot of these other conversations that are, you know, social, emotional, cultural, maybe in some ways historical, right? And I think it's nice to be able to shed light onto not just this time that they're here with us, but that like, hey, you are this person right now in your life at this point, and you have all of this left to go. So how can we get them to see sort of the big picture? And once again, sometimes it's not expecting them to understand till sometime later, but we'll consistently reiterate these ideas and really try to emphasize that human aspect of them. Clarity is the ultimate currency.
Oh yes, love that quote.
Rule for now, rule for life.
Always.